This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, the Schuylkill County District Attorney lets us know about her first few months in office, and she'll tell us about some challenges and joys of the job. Hello everyone, this is FYI Weekend and I'm Ken Cara. She was a Schuylkill County prosecutor who successfully achieved her goal of becoming the district attorney. Now, after a busy first few months on the job, we sat down with the new DA, Christine Hallman.
Today, I'm pleased to welcome to our studios Christine Hallman, the District Attorney of Schuylkill County, and it's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you, Lisa. It's a pleasure to be here.
I know you're not on the job all that long yet, but you've had some pretty heavy caseloads already to deal with. So one of them, we were just talking a little bit, 2 homicides within 24-hour periods. So how difficult has the job been?
It's been challenging and difficult, but I'm enjoying every minute of it, and I'm aiming to please. I take great pride in my work. I look at it this way. I used to have multiple clients when I was in private practice. Now, Schuylkill County citizens are all of my clients. But getting back to Lisa, the sort of the challenges and the back-to-back homicides. Actually, we've got several under our belts since I took office early January. January 6th, I was sworn in. And I would say 2 weeks later, we had an unfortunate incident in West Monroe Township, Shenandoah Heights, where a neighbor had a dispute with his neighbor over a fence, and some pets getting out of this fenced area. And, of course, the case is still pending, so I don't want to violate any rules and go further, but suffice it to say that there have been charges filed, and we'll be prosecuting the individual who shot his neighbor with regard to a boundary dispute.
Is the job what you thought it would be? How difficult is it to maintain this constant schedule?
I can probably say yes. It is what I thought it would be. I'm certainly not. I'm not new to the office. I had been in the office previously with my boss and proud to call a mentor, Frank Corey. I was in the juvenile division, but I had been exposed to a lot of what went on in the office, and I knew the pace. I knew the challenges that occurred, and kind of the nuances and everything that just sort of hit you right smack in the face, and you had to be prepared to roll with it and handle it.
Are there any goals that you have set for yourself right now that you're looking to achieve while you're in office?
Yes, and thank you, Lisa, for asking. When I was campaigning, I had my platform. One of the biggest things was to fight blight. And the blighted properties and the way Schuylkill County, unfortunately, is crumbling. I'm going to embark on my own campaign in office to fight this blight. And I've been reaching out to everyone involved in Schuylkill County who can help. The city of Pottsville, the local boroughs, the local municipalities, the police departments. And that is a goal of mine, within 4 years to have some sort of program implemented and in place that the district attorney's office plays an integral role in fighting blight.
Very good. I hope that you will come back and update us on how things are progressing throughout your term.
I would love to. Thank you, Lisa.
All right. Christine Hallman, the District Attorney of Schuylkill County.
Memorial Day is coming, and it's the holiday that kicks off the summer. Yay! It also marks the start of construction season. Okay, maybe you have mixed feelings about that, but it's necessary for better roads. And to better inform us, here's PennDOT's James May with Lisa Sugar.
'Tis the season for road construction in the state of Pennsylvania, and here to tell us all about it is James May, who is the Regional Press Director for PennDOT. James, it all starts now.
What do they say? There are two seasons in Pennsylvania, winter and construction. And it seemed like this year we were never going to leave the winter season, but we finally did, which does mean that we're moving into the construction season. The primary emphasis that we're in at this point is obviously filling potholes. It has been one of the roughest winters ever that we've seen in this area. So a lot of what we're doing is that, but Memorial Day traditionally is sort of the kickoff for our construction season, and there's a lot of stuff that we have planned for this construction season.
What are some of the specific projects that people should be on the alert about and use caution when driving in those areas?
Well, one of the ones that we're doing right now is a safety improvement project on State Route 309 between Wilkes-Barre and Mountaintop area. That's the rock cut area. We're actually moving the rock back from the road, and we're doing some blasting throughout the project in order to do that. Anytime that you have a rock cut area, you will have water that runs down on the road, rocks that go down onto the road, and then the sun can't get down there to thaw it out, and so you have freezing that takes place as well. So that's a safety improvement project that will take place up until the fall. If anybody wants to follow that project, we have cameras set up at 511pa.com, and we actually put a camera at the top of that project and at the bottom of that project. You can log on to there and see that. You can actually look in real time at what's taking place out there. We also send out a weekly update to folks. If you email me at jamay@pa.gov, usually on Fridays we'll let folks know what's taking place there. The other ones, as you travel right up Interstate 81, starting at the Schuylkill-Luzerne County line, there's a bridge replacement project down there. There's another one up in Jenkins Township. There's another one at the airport that we're doing. Throughout most of these projects, we do keep 2 lanes on 81. Down in Schuylkill County, they were down to 1 lane for a little while. But we try to keep 2 lanes whenever possible. So that's some of the stuff that we have taking place. There's a lot of other things that are taking place throughout the area. The other thing that we're doing is that we're doing a lot of paving. If you recall, the legislature recently passed the governor's transportation bill. When we looked at where we would be allocating our dollars from that legislation, the vast majority of ours is going into paving. We are looking at right now at paving about 145 miles of non-interstate roads and then another 65 miles of interstate. So that's on top of what we were already doing. Also replacing 7 more bridges. So it's one of those things that the construction and paving is inconvenience because we're out there doing stuff and tying up traffic, but it's just stuff that needs to be done, and once it's finished, people are normally very pleased with what we've done. We're also launching our Click It or Ticket campaign. In Pennsylvania, a seatbelt violation, not wearing your seatbelt, is a secondary offense if you're over 21. If you're a junior driver under 21, you can actually get pulled over for not wearing your seatbelt. But it is a secondary offense. But what we do is we partner with many of the local police departments. Hazleton Police will be working with us, and they'll be cracking down on people not wearing those seatbelts when they pull them over for something else. But then they will also be giving out warnings to people, just letting them know about the importance of wearing their seatbelts. And it's just a time of year that we're really emphasizing to people with the summer travel season to make sure you're wearing your seatbelt.
Okay. So best advice, people are out traveling now, especially with the holiday and once all the summer weather hits. So is there any special advice you want to give them right now?
Well, always buckle up, never text and drive. We're seeing a lot more of that taking place right now. Over the Memorial Day holiday right now, we're having our coffee breaks, and this is where different nonprofit organizations can go out and can set up, and they'll have cookies and brownies and coffees and stuff out alongside the road. So make sure you stop there. It's good to help out in the community with these groups, but it also allows you to get out and sort of revive yourself and wake up again. But be careful, there's a lot of construction season out there, and make sure that when you see those cones, to remember that there's somebody behind there who wants to get home to their family tonight as well.
Lisa's a very busy person. She's not done yet. We'll check back in with her shortly. Now, from the desk of the mayor of West Hazleton comes this piece of information. The borough is holding electronic recycling pickup on June 6th. You have to put your items out on the curb on June 5th, and there is a limit of 200 items, and that limit is based on first-come, first-served basis. You can log on to the Luzerne County website to see what items will be taken. You have to call the number on your screen by June 4th to register. Coming up on FYI Weekend, we'll get some knowledge on Memorial Day travel dropped on us by a representative from AAA. And in sports, we jump back on Penn State's coaches caravan, and we'll talk with women's soccer coach Erica Walsh.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Representative Tara Hill talking about a problem that affects municipalities across the Commonwealth and potentially taxpayers as well, the pension crisis. What can you tell us about it?
Yes. Well, we have a statewide pension crisis. We have $42 billion of unfunded liability for state workers and their pensions, and that's PSERS and SERS. So we have that unfunded liability, and we don't know how to fund that, and that results in raising taxes, which hurts taxpayers, or the other way that they do it is cutting services, and that also hurts the taxpayers. So you're having higher taxes and less services, so it hurts people. So we have to do something about this pension crisis because we keep on moving it forward every year and avoiding it. And what's happened now is we have the statewide pension crisis, but we also have municipal crises as well. So 41% of Pennsylvanians are living in a municipality that is having a distressed situation where they can't pay their employees either. So this is municipal fire, municipal police, and all of the municipal workers who have pensions. One of the solutions that we've been looking at is moving to a defined contribution plan, and there's also a cash balance plan. So the employer is still going to put money in. So the employee puts in about 6%, 6 to 9% of their income is going to go into their retirement, and then the employer is going to, that which is the municipality, is going to pay about 4% in. So going forward, this isn't the people that are working now, but we do need to look for pension solutions for the future because it's going to just result directly in the taxpayer having to pay more if we don't do something about it. So it's a huge unfunded liability, both on the state level and the municipal level. So we've been exploring our options, and hopefully this year we're not going to continue to kick the can down the road, and we'll be able to reach consensus here with the House and the Senate.
In our first segment, we learned about construction. Now we'll hear about how much congestion you can expect on this Memorial Day weekend. Once again, here's Lisa Sugar.
Well, the Memorial Day travel holiday is finally upon us. Many people looking to the warm weather and also the ability to get away. And to tell us how many people will actually be doing just that, we're pleased to welcome back Jenny Robinson, who is the Manager of Public and Government Affairs for AAA's Mid-Atlantic region. Jenny, thanks for coming back again.
Thank you for having me, Lisa. It's so great to look forward to Memorial Day weekend. It felt like the winter would never end. In fact, we did have snowfall only a month ago, so it really feels like we're just going right from winter into the summer holidays, which is a great thing to look forward to.
Now, the Memorial Day travel holiday consists of a 4-day period, correct? So tell us what AAA anticipates for this travel.
Well, people are sick of the winter, so we are projecting an increase in Memorial Day travelers compared to last year. Looking at this region specifically, 0.6%, so a small increase. About 40,000 people from Luzerne and Columbia counties put together going to travel at least 50 miles or more for Memorial Day weekend. And that's about 10% of the population. Same is true for Pennsylvania generally. The numbers, interestingly, a little bit lower than the increase we're projecting nationwide, which is going to be about 1.5% more travelers. So although people do want to get away after being sick of the winter in Pennsylvania, on the other hand, there are some economic factors. Gas prices are higher, and because of the winter, that kind of held down the economy a little bit as well.
Let's talk about the price of gas. We've seen it go down a little bit recently, thank goodness. So does that have an impact, or do you think it will have an impact on travel?
Well, it always helps when gas prices are lower. However, they're more than 25 cents higher than they were at this time last year. That's the hard part of it, but people are so eager to get away for Memorial Day weekend. So the fact that we've seen the prices dropping is certainly a help.
Okay, and for anyone who is traveling out there now, any advice for them as they make their way on this Memorial Day weekend?
Well, always allow plenty of time. No surprise that now that the spring is here, you see a lot of road crews out there fixing the potholes and doing the construction. So watch out for that and allow extra time, with all of the traffic that you might encounter. Of course, make sure your tank is full and get your car checked out before you travel if you can.
All right. Some good advice. So if you are traveling for this holiday, travel safely and take Jenny's advice, and hopefully you'll get there in no time at all and without any problems. Reporting for FYI, I'm Lisa Sugart.
Thanks for all that work, Lisa. Now you can have the weekend off. On this weekend's community calendar, Holy Rosary Parish in Hazleton will hold its annual rummage sale on Tuesday, June 10th from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. in the Parish Hall. Then on Wednesday, June 11th, check out some great deals as part of Bag Day from 9 a.m. until noon. Everyone is invited to come out for some terrific deals. Again, the rummage sale will take place at Holy Rosary Parish Hall on 240 South Poplar Street in Hazleton. FYI, we'll be right back. We check back in with Penn State's Coach's Caravan next.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
Penn State women's soccer coach Erica Walsh was part of the Coach's Caravan stop in Peckville. Here's my interview with her. Coach Erica Walsh, thank you so much for joining us. And I have to ask, what do a women's soccer coach, a wrestling coach, and a football coach talk about on the bus trip?
How to shave our heads, apparently. It's a hot topic on the bus right now between Coach Sanderson and Coach Franklin right now. And I'm learning a lot, which is, not a whole lot of use for it now, but maybe someday.
Are they jealous of the full head of hair you have?
They are. There's a little bit of jealousy, but for the most part, I think they're proud men. I think that they're real secure with their manlyhood, as you would expect.
Let's talk about women's soccer program at Penn State. Very successful. You have a recruit coming in from the area. Tell us a little bit about that.
We do. We have Isabel Claus is coming in from Abington Heights. She's been a star player for them out of this area, and we've had quite a bit of success out of this area over the past couple of years. So, being from the eastern part of the state, it's an area where I want to continue to get to know and network, and it's great to be up here.
If you could talk to high school soccer players who might be thinking, I don't know if I could ever play at Penn State one day, what would you say to them? What's kind of the motivational speech you give?
Yeah, I think a big part of it is for our players, playing at the highest level is so much about technique and about time spent with the ball and making sure they're really working on their technique, not just with their coaches or with their teams, but by themselves as well, their relationship with the ball. And then come and watch a match. See where you stack up against these players. So have a real good, realistic perspective of what your talent is compared to the players that play out on Jeffrey Field.
You guys had a spring practice season kind of recently. Can you talk about how that went and how the ladies are doing heading into the fall?
Yeah, we went undefeated this spring, which is good and bad all at the same time because you want to be tested in the spring, and we didn't have a goal scored against us, which you feel great about on one hand, but we've got a new defense that we're trying out, so you want to be exposed, but we were able to hold off one of the pro teams. We have a professional team out of New Jersey, and we were able to hold them scoreless, and so we feel very good about that, and I think we made some good strides for the fall.
And I read online too recently, you guys took a trip to, was it Costa Rica? Talk about that as a cultural experience, soccer being such a huge international sport. How important was that for the girls, and talk about the experience?
Yeah, we actually had a trip planned to Argentina, and with issues with their economy, our travel company ended up pulling out. So we ended up in Dominican Republic, and we spent 6 days down there. We did 4 service aspects of the trip. We went into a school and taught English. We did 2 soccer clinics, and then we did an all-school clinic as well. And we have a young lady from Costa Rica, Raquel Rodriguez, that kind of led the show. And we have another Spanish-speaking student, Kendra Coney. And it was neat to see our players take the role of coach, and the rest of us that couldn't speak the language, obviously, kind of play the role of the follower. And I thought right across the board, we played 2 international matches against the Dominican national team, and just a wonderful experience. The NCAA allows you to do it every 4 years, and we hope to continue that tradition.
There's 2 more questions. The Women's Pro League that's in the country now, you had so much success at a high level. How important is that for women's soccer in this country?
If we're going to compete at the highest level, we're going to win World Cups and we're going to win Olympics, we have to have a pro league that can survive. You look at these other countries, you look at Japan and Germany, and their pro leagues have been going for years and years. So for us, right now, we're only really developing 30 players. And if those players can't do it, we need to continue to develop these younger players. There's just not enough opportunities to get a young Alex Morgan into a match when you have an Abby Wambach or, these veteran players. Obviously now Alex has come into her own. But for the overall development of our country, for role models, for our young players, it's a must.
Last question. I love watching women's soccer. I think it's one of the most exciting sports. It's great in this country. If you were going to tell fans out there of Penn State, it's right near Beaver Stadium, Jeffrey Field. Why should they stop by a women's soccer game?
Well, it's the most popular game in the world. We've got World Cup fever right now. The Men's World Cup is going on this summer. Women's World Cup will be going on next summer in Canada. And if it's the most popular sport in the world, those of you that aren't following it, you're not doing something right. Come find out what all the buzz is about. I think Coach Franklin is even jumping on the soccer bandwagon. Coach Warman and I were with him last week, and I think even he's getting excited. So we're telling him to be patient. We think this whole football thing might catch on here at Penn State, but right now I think there's a lot. Coach Warming has won 2 Big Ten back-to-back championships with the men's team. Obviously, the women's team have won 15 consecutive Big Ten championships, and there's just a lot of exciting things going on out there.
We have one more story from the Coach's Caravan, and it involves head football coach James Franklin, and you can see that on Memorial Day. That's sports for now. FYI, we'll be right back. It's the weekend, and I love sitting at a high top, ordering some delicious apps and having a few beverages with my friends at Bottlenecks, where they have an awesome atmosphere with awesome food.
Hello again, I'm Chris here at the Hazleton Animal Shelter, and with me I have Arthur, who's a 4-month-old Border Collie mix. Arthur is just recently neutered and is currently up to date on all of his vaccinations, including his rabies shot. He was also tested and came up negative for heartworm and Lyme disease. Border Collies like Arthur are very active and should definitely be given a lot of things to do and taken for long walks daily if possible. Also, a larger fenced-in yard would definitely be advisable. Not only is he a more active and intelligent breed, being a Border Collie mix, but Arthur's also only a 4-month-old puppy. So we're definitely looking for somebody with a lot of experience with a more active and intelligent dog. That's it for this week's dog. Now we're going to have a look at the cat colony. Hello again. Here I am in the male colony with Spike. Spike is an approximately 8-month-old neutered domestic shorthair who's very inquisitive and playful. I'd recommend anybody who already owns cats would probably do very well with Spike, as he's very playful and loves to engage with the other cats here in the colony. Spike is already neutered, current on all of his vaccinations, and of course tested negative for feline leukemia and FIV. As I said, he's a younger cat, only about 8 months old, so he still has a lot of playfulness and inquisitiveness due to his kitten state. So anybody who's interested in Arthur, our featured dog, or Spike here, please come on down to the Hazleton Animal Shelter at 101 North Poplar Street. Thank you.
Thanks for watching this weekend, and have a fun and safe holiday weekend. We'll see you again on Memorial Day. Until then, take it easy.